Hi, my name is Victoria. I'm so happy to be here with Montreal YA Fest. Thank you so much for having me. If you're not familiar with me, I am a singer-songwriter. I make pop music that ranges from cinematic to top 40. I have always loved books, and I actually got my start in music by writing theme songs for books and posting them to my YouTube channel called Inquillery. So if you are familiar with me, you probably know me from there, as that is where I am best known. I've kind of written character songs since I was quite young, actually. It's something that has sort of happened to me accidentally because as I'm reading, these songs will pop into my head. But what prompted me to get started in pursuing this in kind of a more serious way was thinking about how TV and films have soundtracks and how books, because they're obviously not usually an auditory experience, although audiobooks do change that a bit, they don't usually get musical accompaniment, but I think there's a lot of space for music to go along with books, especially for people who like to listen to music and read. And I think music also can provide a way for us to reconnect with the characters when we're not reading as well. So about 5 years ago, I had just read, I think, Empire of Storms from the Throne of Glass series. It had just come out, and I wrote a theme song for Aelin and Rowan and posted it on YouTube, and then completely forgot about it. Only to remember a couple months later, and I checked and found it had like 20,000 views, which at the time was a lot, obviously, for my first song. So I was like, cool, I guess as much as I think that there's space for this, there's a whole world of people that are also interested. And so I kept going. So today I'm gonna play a couple of those songs for you. There will be spoilers in some of the songs, so I'll kind of let you know as we go along. And before I start each one, I'll chat a little bit about the process of writing it and what inspired me. And yeah, I hope you enjoy, and you can definitely look these songs up on your streaming platform of choice. They're on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, iTunes, Amazon, pretty much everywhere. So look up Victoria Carbol if you're interested in hearing these, the studio versions. I also just released Bookish Songs Volume 3, so there are a couple of songs I'll play today from there. It just dropped April 28th, so it's brand new and fresh, although I do tend to sneak release a lot of songs on YouTube first, so I'll kind of like test the waters, so to speak, or put something on my YouTube channel so my followers who have been with me from the very beginning kind of get a first dib, and then I collect them all up and release them on these volumes of Bookish songs. So I just dropped Bookish Songs Volume 3. If you follow my YouTube, you may be familiar with some of them, but if not, it's brand new and waiting for you to stream. So the first song I'm going to play for you today is called Wild Heart, and it was inspired by the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas, particularly the relationship between Danica and Bryce. This song actually came about because of Starfall Court, which is a group of cosplayers that make cosplay kind of fan films for various series, and they posted that they were going to be doing a music video for Crescent City after the first book dropped, and they were looking for music. I decided to shoot my shot and was like, hey, I make bookish music. Would you be interested in a collaboration? And they said yes. So then I had to read the book and write the song. But this one's a little different from the others because it was actually a planned song. So yeah, I think the relationship between Danica and Bryce is so special. If you don't know, I am an LGBT musician, and so I ship them as bisexual together, even though that's not canon, but I think we all know. Especially the way that Bryce goes on to compare her relationship with Danica to Hunt. There's definitely some feelings there. So without further ado, this is Wild Heart. This song does contain spoilers for the first book in the Crescent City series. So if you haven't read it yet and don't want to be spoiled, this is now your sign to click away until I finish playing the guitar. Black leather jacket on my chair. I don't think about how it got there. Brightly colored streaks in her blonde hair, frozen in a picture frame somewhere. 2 years is just a little recall the parties, the swagger, no inhibitions. But I remember how you held me when we fell, how your secrets just to keep me safe as well. I will remember you for all of the times we fought on when we bruised my endless wild heart. Come whatever, light it up, we'll live forever. I will remember you, my wild heart. I live in you. Here at the bottom, at the end of all my strength, without an anchor, but I am not afraid. I am not alone. I will remember you for all of the times we fought on when we bruised my endless wild heart. Come whatever, light it up, we'll live forever. I will remember you, my wild heart, oh, wild heart, oh, wild heart. I live in you. I live in you. Okay, so that was Wild Heart, inspired by the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. So this next song that I'm going to play is called Ghost of You, and it was inspired by the relationship between Mare and Maven from the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. So this chat and this song are going to contain spoilers for the Red Queen series up to the end. So I would say stop listening now or mute if you don't want to be spoiled. I try to keep the talking portion spoiler free, but for this one to kind of dive into what the song is about, I wanted to chat a little bit about the series too. So this chat portion will also include spoilers. This was one of my early songs that also helped to kind of get my music out there. Victoria Aveyard herself retweeted it, calling it viciously good, so you can listen and see if you agree. But yeah, I was very fascinated by their dynamic while reading the series, and while it's very much larger than life and highly fictionalized, I feel like it does have a lot to say in some ways for how we can also struggle to let people go, even when you discover something about them that is a huge red flag or they're not who you thought they were. You can still be hooked on the idea of somebody even when who they are in front of you is not great. So that was kind of what I wanted to capture in this song, the way that even once Mare knows everything about Maven, she can't quite shake him because of the ghost of who he used to be. Which is also very literal in this story too, right? Because Maven quite literally had his mind messed with, so there's like a part of him that was his former self that he's also missing and looking for. And so I thought that was just a really fascinating dynamic that I wanted to explore. So this is Ghost of You, inspired by Mare and Maven. Hollow eyes haunt me, voice poisons my dreams. No a killer, you're a beast, a perfect shell that's empty underneath. I know I hate you, I know you're cruel, a monster that was made and taught to rule. Tell me the truth, are you haunted too by the ghost of you? Shell that's empty underneath. I know I hate you, I know you're rude, a monster that was made and taught to rule. But tell me the truth, are you haunted too? Oh, tell me the truth, are you haunted too? Tell me the truth, are you haunted too by the ghost of you? The ghost of you. So this next song I'm going to play is called Song of the Witch Kingdom, and it was inspired by the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. For all of you that are fans of my music, I want you to know that I am playing this song for you because it has so many lyrics and I couldn't remember any of them, so I had to practice it so much to get them back in my head. This song has been the bane of my existence for many, many reasons. That one, certainly, but also in writing it, I almost gave up so many times. If you're familiar with the song, you know that it is kind of a historical folk ballad that follows the entire history of the Witch Kingdom as it is discussed in Throne of Glass, as well as the events involving the witches in the series itself. So while the melody came into my head for the chorus very easily, writing the verses was a nightmare, and I had to just spend so many hours like poring through the books trying to like piece together all of the history. And then once I'd done that, I had to try to fit all of that to the right rhythm and rhyme of this song. And so honestly, it was so difficult. It's probably the hardest song I've ever written, or the hardest song to write of the songs that I've written. And I almost gave up, honestly, so many times. And by the time I was finished with it and had finished recording it, I was so sick of it that I thought that it was garbage. And yet, to this day, it is my most successful release with over 1 million streams on Spotify, and it is one of the few bookish songs I've released that has kind of progressed beyond the world of book fans. It gets added to a lot of like Celtic folk playlists. I feel like this one will always be special to me because for a while I was so frustrated with it, and yet it has like brought me so much joy and success and connection with fans. So I'm playing it here today for you guys because it is difficult to remember the words for me. Is it embarrassing that I admit to not knowing the lyrics to my own songs? This one absolutely contains spoilers, like really bad specific spoilers. I feel like a lot of the previous ones I played, they spoil a little bit, but it's more like the emotion or the feeling of what happens. This one quite literally tells you the events of the final book of the Throne of Glass series. So if you haven't got that far, definitely don't watch this song because you will have major plot points given away for you. So without further ado, this is Song of the Witch Kingdom. My child, come listen close, let me tell you all the tale of a people cursed, a land destroyed, of a darkness that prevailed. A witch kingdom once tall and proud was ruled by crouching queens. Rhiannon fair was last of these, for hatred stirred beneath. The crouching queens were thus betrayed by those of iron teeth. 3 days, 3 nights the battle raged, till every heartbeat ceased. And as she fell, Rhiannon last stretched out a vengeful hand. Heed my words and heed my curse, or ne'er return to this here land. She said, blood to blood and soul to soul, together this was done. And only together can it be undone. Be the bridge, be the light, and when the iron melts, when flowers spring from killing fields, only then the land shall be won. 500 years the land was dry, all witches lost and scattered. Black beak, blue blood, yellow legs, their magic dead and shattered. With crouchings gone, hope there was none to bind and break the curse, till silver-haired and crooked-hearted Manon learned of her birth. Wing leader and black big air, devourer of souls, the long lost child of crouching blood, with eyes of burning gold. Both ancient queen, iron warrior, with 13 at her side, they crowned her with a ring of stars, a people unified. Blood to blood and soul to soul, together this was done. And only together can it be undone. Be the bridge, be the light, and when the iron melts, when flowers spring from killing fields, only then the land shall be won. In final days a king arose to bathe the world in blood. High Queen Manon would not be cowed by his demonic flood. With every clan of witches met, she mortals met, she fey. And in the hills of Terrasen, the last stand of light was made. Magic, dark and cunning, demons sought to breach the wall. Should they have broken Orin's gates, then Here now the land is won. So I've got one more song for you today. This last one is called No Mourners, No Funerals, and I'm sure you can guess what series it's inspired by, but if you're not familiar with it, it's inspired by Six of Crows. This is a newer song of mine. It's on Bookish Songs Volume 3, and it's basically an anthem for the crows from the series. If you're a fan, I'm sure you resonate with the feeling of wanting to belong to that group, of feeling connected with all of them and loving their camaraderie and their growth from kind of like reluctant allies to besties and even lovers between some of them. So with this song, I kind of wanted to capture that feeling of like togetherness and really just kind of make it a fun bop to represent the like kind of sketchy attitudes of a lot of them, but also like their uniformity and their togetherness. This song doesn't really contain any spoilers for the series. It more captures the feeling of the characters. There's not really any plot points in it. So you don't necessarily need to click away unless you're one of those people that wants absolutely zero impression of the series before you start it. Before I get going, I just want to point your attention to one other thing. Oh, the sun is coming out and messing with my lighting. Thanks, sun. Yeah, before I play this, I just want to point out one other thing, which is that I am a part of a group of songwriters called the Bookish Song Collective. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and we are actually working on a Grishaverse-inspired album that is set to drop June 10th for the 10th anniversary of Shadow and Bone, the book. So if you like this song and you like Leigh Bardugo's books and you want more bookish music inspired by this, definitely check us out. The Bookish Songs Collective is what we're called, and our album will be coming soon. I personally am doing the Darkling theme, so catch my villain song in the next month or so. But until then, this is No Mourners, No Funerals, inspired by Six of Crows. No mourners, no funerals, we are indomitable. No saints, no saviors, we are the lies and takers, and we'll take. We are the dregs of society, the gods of impropriety, scores to settle, debts to collect. We are your phantoms, we are your ghosts, haunting all your lonely roads. We are fighters, knocked down, we resurrect. No mourners, no funerals, we are indomitable. No saints, no saviors, we are the lies and takers, and we'll take you down. We'll take you down. We are your tricksters, we'll disappear. None of us is stalwart here. Love the gamble, live for the deal. We are the outcast, feral born. Don't care about your shame or scorn. No attachments, no ideals. No mourners and no funerals, we are indomitable. No saints, no saviors, we are the lies and takers, and we'll take you down. We'll take you down. We'll take this city, might burn it down. We'll break this city and wear it like a crown. No mourners, no funerals, we are indomitable. No saints, no saviors, we are the lies and takers. No mourners and no funerals, we are indomitable. No saints, no saviors, we are the lies and takers, and we'll take you down. We'll take you down, and we'll take you down. All right, everyone, now you're getting my face up close and personal. I'm just trying to like not be a shadow. Yeah, that is my set for you. So thank you so much for listening. I believe now we're going to be having a live question time on Zoom. So I will catch you live in a few moments. Just before we do that though, a couple of final reminders. You can find me on all streaming platforms. My name is Victoria Carbol, and I'm also all over social media as Victoria Carbol as well. I just dropped Bookish Songs Volume 3 on all streaming platforms, so give that a listen. And also follow the Bookish Songs Collective to stay tuned for our Grishaverse album coming to you June 10th. So that is all for me for now. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to chatting with you. Thanks so much to everyone at Montreal YA Fest for including me and for setting up this panel for us. Talk in a minute.